Hey, Ragers, Red Pill Army, we are the Republic. We are going to become uncancelable. We are standing tall. We are staying based. And as my friend Clue says, we will no longer negotiate with terrorists. We will no longer negotiate with the Skittles cartel, as he puts it, or as I put it, the Rainbow Crime Family. I'm fucking done. Happy Pride, but that's American Pride. That is okay. This shit is over. The shit's over. But the effects are not over. Okay, because we've been feeling the effects ever since Obama legalized same-sex marriage, which I personally don't have a problem with. But I do remember something that the Christians at my church were saying, and I didn't believe it. I didn't believe it at the time. They said this is going to open the door to things that we're not even going to believe. And of course, I was like, nah, you guys are exaggerating. It's not that big of a deal. Who cares? If they want to get married and divorced and go through all the paperwork, let them. Like, does it really fucking matter? Does it really fucking matter? No, it doesn't. Okay, because gay marriage is not the problem. But as I have said before in other Pride Month videos that I've made the past couple of weeks, we went from tolerance in the 90s to acceptance to celebration to blackmail. Okay, blackmail. Why do I not have an arm? Blackmail from the Skittles cartel, from the Rainbow Crime Family, has gotten way the fuck out of hand. And what did Young Pharaoh say? They said the goal here, if you're curious what the agenda here is, the agenda here is to return society to ancient Rome, ancient Greece lifestyle. Okay? Young Pharaoh said that. Acts Truth has said to expound upon that. This has never been an LGBT agenda. This is a pedophile agenda. Okay? And if you don't believe me, here's a couple of words that I wanted to share with you, some of the best Pride videos of the month for those of you who are celebrating. I want to make sure that you see what gays, how gays feel about this, who don't support the bullshit. Okay? You don't just put this on me since my word is not qualified, since my word is not good enough, I'll let somebody else say it. Here's my boy, Christian Walker.
Then you want to run around crying. Honey bun, why do you need a month to celebrate who you sleep with? Newsflash, nobody cares. You have all your rights, now shut up. You take a Pride Month out to run around the streets with no clothes on and hook up in public, and then you want to run around crying, oh, I'm so oppressed, no one likes me. Well, stop pushing it in everybody's face. No one cares. But the truth of the matter is, you want everyone to care because you need attention. It's 2022. We can barely afford gas in America. Nobody has the time to run around worrying about what you do and policing your actions. Get over your insecurities and leave everyone alone. Oh, and by the way, pride is a sin.
Every day and hate people. How do you have energy for this?
No one hates anyone. I'm a gay man and I don't want you people speaking for me, cutting up fucking children. At what age does a little girl have the right to a double mastectomy? You don't fucking speak for me. You straight liberals, you don't control shit.
I'm a straight white guy just like you, and I have no hate for other people. You wake up every day and hate people. How do you have energy for this?
No one hates anyone. I'm a gay man and I don't want you people speaking for me, cutting up fucking children. At what age does a little girl have the right to a double mastectomy? You don't fucking speak for me. You straight liberals, you don't control shit.
I'm a straight white guy just like you, and I have no hate for other people.
Sorry, you know how I am with the mute. I'm not always on top of it, but I'm getting there. Basically, what I said was that Christian Walker said, pride is a sin, bitch. Okay? Pride is a sin. So we're celebrating a sin to highlight Stonewall. Is that what this is? Is that what this has been for the last 30 years? Maybe longer. I don't know when Pride started. Okay. That's not even the best one. Let me bring you my other brother from another mother. And I have had the privilege. I've actually had the privilege of meeting all three of these men. But Hog Kitty, fucking savage, always has been, always will be. Hog Kitty is my nigga. They all my nigga, but Hog Kitty is my nigga. Hog Kitty had something to say. This went viral, so you might have already heard this, but let me go ahead and play it again. Okay, because Hog Kitty has had the same message since day one. And I had the privilege of marching with Hog Kitty at the Walkaway LA event, which of course is the event that I went viral at.
Your friendly favorite conservative drag queen. Anyway, I have another message for heterosexual women, the ones who have children. I have no idea why you want drag queens to read books to your children. I have no idea. What in the hell has a drag queen ever done to make you have so much respect for them and admire them so much, other than put on makeup and jump on the floor and writhe around and do sexual things on stage? I have absolutely no idea why you would want that to influence your child. Would you want a stripper or a porn star to influence your child? It makes no sense at all. A drag queen performs in a nightclub for adults. There is a lot of filth that goes on, a lot of sexual stuff that goes on. And backstage, there's a lot of nudity, sex, and drugs. Okay? So I don't think that this is an avenue you would want your child to explore. They could explore dressing up at home like we all did, like all gay boys did. We all dressed at home and we had a great time. We had a great time with our girlfriends, putting on makeup, trying on clothes, things like that. But to actually get them involved in drag is extremely, extremely irresponsible on your part. And I understand you might want to look like you're with it, that you're cool, that you're woke, that you're not a Nazi, that you're not a homophobe, whatever it may be. But you can raise your child to be just a normal, regular, everyday child without including them in gay, sexual things. And honestly, you're not doing the gay community any favors. In fact, you're hurting us, okay? We have already had a reputation of being pedophiles and being perverts and deviants. We don't need you to bring your children around. So you keep your kids at home or take them to Disneyland or take them to Chuck E. Cheese. But if you need your child to be entertained by a big human in a costume or in makeup, take them to the circus or something. When they turn 18, then why don't you take them to the clubs on their 18th birthday? Because it's an adult thing, okay? So don't ruin your child's life and don't ruin us, because that's what you're doing.
Tell it, girl. Love me some Hog Kitty. Shout out to Christian Walker, Mikey Harlow, and Hog Kitty. Love you. Have since the day we met. Always will. Always. The Ragers here will always have your back. We will always have your back. Same for you, Axe Truth. Same for everybody who understands. Okay. I don't know if y'all have ever been to a gay club. Those are my clubs of preference, just because it's like the only clubs that I've ever been able to go to and not get groped. Okay. And listen to really, really good dance music. And it's fun. But yes, everyone is almost naked, including the go-go dancers. There is meth and cocaine in the dressing rooms and in the bathrooms. It is a hookup fest, and it is both comedic, female impersonation, but it's also very, very raunchy. It's very raunchy. It's very sexually driven, and that's why it is for adults. It's adult entertainment, and it sickens me, especially up there in Dallas and at the Wee Spa in fucking LA. It sickens me that people think, oh, well, you know, we have to accept everyone, and this is how I teach my child not to hate. Your kid, look, it's 2022. Nobody hates gay people anymore. Nobody fucking hates gay people anymore. Nobody cares. That generation has died off. They're dying off. The boomers that are still around, yes, they might have grown up in the 60s and 70s, maybe 50s, whatever. They still might be a bit apprehensive. But anyone who's Gen X or less, Gen X or higher, I don't know how you would go with that. Anyone who's Gen X or higher doesn't fucking care. We grew up with Ellen. We don't fucking hate Ellen. I mean, some of us do now because of the whole Epstein shit, but that's a whole nother story. Okay, we grew up with Ellen. We grew up with seeing impersonations from a lot of the comedians. Okay, there was always a gay aunt or gay uncle in the family. We weren't stupid. There was always a gay piano player or gay choir director in our churches. Nobody talked about it, but we knew. There was always a gay phys ed teacher in our schools. Nobody talked about it, but we knew. We didn't care. Get the fuck over yourselves. I am done. We are done. America is done with the shit. We don't care. We don't care if our kids turn out to be gay. We know they can adopt. We know they can get married. We can still have, it won't be a traditional family, but we can still have variations of families, even within the gay lifestyle. Nobody fucking cares. All right? Get over it. Okay. We're going to go rapid fire because I've got a lot of stuff I want to talk about. But I had to let my brothers, I had to show solidarity with my brothers. Okay, with my Walkaway brothers, because they're getting sick of it too. And you know who else is getting sick of it? And I want everybody to go follow this profile that is on Twitter, and they are also on Instagram. Okay, you know who else is sick of it? Another 32.6 thousand followers of Gays Against Groomers. Because you see, you making everybody look bad. And the Gays Against Groomers are tired of this shit too. Coalition of Gays Against the Sexualization and Indoctrination of Children. Allies welcome. Okay. They started just this month and they already have 32,000 followers. So let's definitely give them support, show them love, show solidarity, let them know that we support them calling out their own people, because we're sick of it and they're sick of it. And there's a lot of gay people, regardless of what they do as adults, who have zero attraction to children. Okay? Zero attraction to children. And they're tired of being used by the pedos to usher in this ancient Rome, ancient Greece, bocce, how do you say it? Bocce, you guys know what I'm talking about, the Middle Eastern dancing boy shit. They're tired of being used. Okay? Once again, as Acts Truth said, this is not a gay agenda. This is a pedo agenda, using the gay lifestyle as a Trojan horse to bring this and try to normalize this minor attracted bullshit and this NAMBLA bullshit back into society. Period. Okay. Next up, I am going to go ahead and read the Homosexual Manifesto again. Now, listening to this satire that was written by Michael Swift for the, I'll read the what was it? The Gay Revolutionary. It was written by Michael Swift as satire in 1987. This is a very graphic document. I've read it before, and I'm going to keep reading it. And I'm going to read it every Pride Month and whenever necessary for as long as possible and as long as needed, until you fucking trans activists and you fucking groomers understand that we care not what the intention was. We care what the execution is. All right. Y'all buckle up. I know this is hard to listen to, and I hate having to fucking read this, but we have to read it, okay? And I'm going to tie this up at the end with something else. Oh, no. Before we get to this, I want to read something else. This was an email that was written to me by Celtic Coven. Celtic Coven have been strong supporters of Red Pill Rage YouTube channel. They have donated to Zach's fundraiser before. They write me emails pretty frequently. And I know, Sasha, I'm so sorry that I don't highlight your emails. I do read them all. It's just, I know I'm a terrible friend. Okay. But I want you guys to listen to this action item that they have. And I truly believe that this is the kind of leadership that I have been looking for and searching for high and low for a really long time. Okay. Hello, Jenny Rage, Sasha X here. If you wish to contribute to society by showing that there are biological differences between males and females, then I have a challenge for you. Predicate. The left believes there is no difference between men and women and that gender can be changed simply because of how a person feels. Analysis. For those of us who do not deny reality, we comprehend that I, who am a man, will never be able to grow beautiful shaped breasts like you, who is a woman, have, and I, who I'm a man, can easily stop shaving my face and grow an awesome porn stash. You know, I was like, it wasn't until I was about 34 years old that I learned what a mustache ride was. I didn't know what that meant. I was 34 before I knew what that meant, but now I know. Okay. And I do like facial hair. I mean, I like clean cut, but I like facial hair too. And that you, who is a woman, simply can't grow an awesome porn stash because you simply lack the DNA of a man to do so. My DNA processes food differently than your DNA does. So I biologically do different things than you. Okay, so that sounds like all peaches and roses bum flapping in the wind. That's some Scottish slang for you. Observable conclusion. Since the left believes that there is no difference in the sexes, then before puberty happens, 9-year-old boys won't be able to run faster than 9-year-old girls. And so here is your challenge. Challenge, should you choose to accept it. Are you up to changing the world? Sponsor a children's event for pubescent children to participate in sporting events. Once the male children win all events, you can declare to the world that there is a clear difference between male and female, even before puberty, thus proving on video and with the scientific method that there is a difference between the sexes that emotions cannot overturn. You said you are a leader, so change the world with this challenge. Warning, you will lose support of many people and you will sometimes feel all alone. Plus, there will be attacks on your life. Should you wish to change the world, you will need to do something big. So slay this dragon. If you are successful, then you will end childhood indoctrination of transgenderism. Conclusion, many patriots died holding our flag up against the British assault. We patriots are now facing another assault. If you can change the narrative of USA and perish in the process, then you are a patriot. And if you make it out alive, well, George Washington made it out alive. Please consider this. Thank you. I love this idea. Thank you, Celtic Coven. I love you guys. Thank you so much. I love this idea. I cannot do it right now because I'm working my ass off trying to get the hell out of Texas. But as soon as I get to Florida, I will be safe. I will not be alone anymore. And I will have a support system of other band fam members who would love to help me with this and provide security if needed. Florida's a stand your ground state. They're not going to, nobody's coming for me. Nobody's going to make an attempt on my life in Florida. If they're smart, they won't. I think what we need to do is we need to do like a big sports day in the park. Like get as many, we'll advertise it as a sports day. We'll have different calisthenics. We'll have like little sprints, little races. We'll do a couple of different sports. Just really make it a fun day for the kids. We'll have food. We'll have face painting. We'll have music. We'll get a DJ there. Like we're going to go all out with this. Okay. We'll get a permit. We'll do it at the park. We'll get as many kids out there as possible. What we're going to do is we're not going to advertise it as anything LGBT, obviously, but we'll do the event, provide an incredible day for the children, but we're going to document the results of every sport in every age group. And then from there, we will reveal our intention. Okay. And I will send the videos and the documentation to every trans activist in this country, every author, every nonprofit, every LGBT group, everybody that I can. I will send this to. We will make this shit go viral between all of our platforms, and that's how we'll get the word out. This is not something I can do alone. This is something I'm going to have to do with the band fam. Okay. And there's plenty of band fam down in Florida. So it would be the most perfect place, the most perfect environment to do that. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Sasha. Thank you so much. I wish I could give you a big hug right now for sending this to me. You are brilliant. You are intelligent. You are based. And you are going to become such a big part of my life. And again, thank you so much. Okay. So back to the Homosexual Manifesto. Okay. Y'all ready? This is disgusting. The Homosexual Manifesto by Michael Swift, the gay revolutionary, reprinted from the Congressional Record of the United States Congress. First printed in the Gay Community News, February 15th through 21st, 1987. We shall sodomize your sons, emblems of your feeble masculinity, of your shallow dreams and vulgar lies. We shall seduce them in your schools, in your dormitories, in your gymnasiums, in your locker rooms, in your sports arenas, in your seminaries, in your youth groups, in your movie theater bathrooms, in your army bunkhouses, in your truck stops, in your all-male clubs, in your houses of Congress, wherever men are with men together. Your sons shall become our minions and do our bidding. They will be recast in our image. They will come to crave and adore us. Women, you cry for freedom. You say you are no longer satisfied with men. They make you unhappy. We, connoisseurs of the masculine face, the masculine physique, shall take your men from you then. We will, okay, I want you to remember this sentence. We shall take your men from you then. Okay, this is going to come up later. We will amuse them. We will instruct them. We will embrace them when they weep. Women, you say you wish to live with each other instead of with men. Then go and be with each other. We shall give your men pleasures they have never known, because we are foremost men too, and only one man who knows how to truly please another man. Only one man can understand the depth and feeling, the mind and body of another man. All laws banning homosexual activity will be revoked. Instead, legislation shall be passed which engenders love between men. All homosexuals must stand together as brothers. We must be united artistically, philosophically, socially, politically, and financially. We will triumph only when we present a common face to the vicious heterosexual enemy. If you dare to cry faggot, fairy, queer at us, we will stab you in your cowardly hearts and defile your dead, puny bodies. We shall write poems of love between men. We shall stage plays in which man openly caresses man. We shall make films about the love between heroic men, which will replace the cheap, superficial, elemental, insipid, juvenile, heterosexual infatuations presently dominating your cinema screens. We shall sculpt statues of beautiful young men, of bold athletes, which will be placed in your parks, your squares, your plazas. The museums of the world will be filled only with paintings of graceful, naked lads. And as we know, lads can mean a lot of things, but generally, historically, it does mean male child. Okay? Our writers and artists will make love between men fashionable and de rigueur, and we will succeed because we are adept at setting styles. We will eliminate heterosexual liaisons through the usage of the redeeming of the rainbow, 203 devices of wit and ridicule, devices which we are skilled at employing. Doesn't that sound like a threat to you? And didn't we say we are no longer negotiating with terrorists? It sounds like a threat to me. We will unmask the powerful homosexuals who masquerade as heterosexuals. You will be shocked and frightened when you find that your presidents and their sons, your industrialists, your senators, your mayors, your generals, your athletes, your film stars, and your television personalities, your civic leaders, your priests are not the safe, familiar, bourgeois heterosexual figures you assume them to be. Andrew Gilliam, we are everywhere. We have infiltrated your ranks. Be careful when you speak of homosexuals because we are always among you. We may be sitting across the desk from you. We may be sleeping in the same bed with you. There will be no compromises. We are not middle-class weaklings. Highly intelligent, we are the natural aristocrats of the human race. And steely-minded aristocrats never settle for less. Those who oppose us will be exiled. Sounds like cancel culture to me. We shall raise vast private armies as Mishma did to defeat you. We shall conquer the world because warriors inspired by and banded together by homosexual love and honor are invincible, as were the ancient Greek soldiers. The family unit, spawning ground of lies, betrayals, mediocrity, hypocrisy, and violence, will be abolished. The family unit, which only dampens imagination and curbs free will, must be eliminated. Perfect boys will be conceived and grown in the genetic laboratory. They will be bonded together in communal setting under the control and instruction of homosexual savants. All churches who condemn us will be closed. Our only gods are handsome young men. We adhere to a cult of beauty, moral, and aesthetic. All that is ugly and vulgar and banal will be annihilated. Since we are alienated from middle-class heterosexual conventions, we are free to live our lives according to the dictates of the pure imagination. For us, too much is never enough. The exquisite society to emerge will be governed by an elite comprised of gay poets. One of the major requirements for a position of power in the new society of heteroeroticism will be the indulgence in the Greek passion. We all know what that means. Any man contaminated with heterosexual lust will be automatically barred from a position of influence. All males who insist on remaining stupidly heterosexual will be tried in homosexual courts of justice and will become invisible men. We shall rewrite history filled and debased with your heterosexual lies and distortions. We shall portray the homosexuality of the great leaders and thinkers who have shaped the world. We will demonstrate that homosexuality and intelligence and imagination are inextricably linked, and that homosexuality is a requirement for true nobility, true beauty in a man. We shall be victorious because we are fueled with the ferocious bitterness of the oppressed who have been forced to play seemingly bit parts in your dumb heterosexual shows throughout the ages. We too are capable of firing guns and manning the barricades of the ultimate revolution. Tremble, hetero swine, when we appear before you without our masks. So once again, to be clear, the LGBT community likes to defend this document by saying, hey, it was satire. But how much of that has already come true? How much of that have we already seen since 1987? How much of that do we continue to see? I mean, they said they were, very skilled at employing manipulation tactics. They admitted it. So it is what it is. Now, having read that, I want to proceed with a little bit of fiction. A little bit of fiction that I have never spoken of out loud. I have never said this on my channel, and I have never said this in my personal life to anyone. Okay? There was a statement that was made in a TV series that I used to watch. I haven't seen this series in over 10 years. It ended in 2010, and that's probably when I last saw it, because I generally will not watch the same series over and over. It's honestly one of the best shows ever made. I mean, it's not like Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones good, but it's almost as good. There were some characters in this series that I want to share with you. And then from that, I want to tie everything together and make sense of this attack on the family and this attack on children that the LGBT groomers, aka pedos, are implementing against society. Now, again, it's fiction, okay? It's fiction. Okay, so don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. I'm just using this as an example, okay? So, let me tell you a little bit about a show that I used to watch. Now, this show is called Nip Tuck, okay? Nip Tuck was an amazing show. Wonderful analysis of dysfunctional families, dysfunctional work relationships, incredible analysis of the cosmetic surgery industry, wonderful analysis of what crazy rich people do when they have too much money and too much time. Nip Tuck really, really affected me. Okay. And let me tell you why. There was one scene, which I'm going to get to, and I think this scene will explain quite a bit. So before we get into that, let me tell you what this show was about. So Dr. Sean McNamara, Dylan Walsh, and Dr. Christian Troy are best friends, and they also have a plastic surgery partnership facility in Miami. Okay. Now, Dylan Walsh, Sean McNamara, is more of the, you guys have seen him in a lot of stuff. He's more of the more family oriented. He's compassionate. He's much more down to earth, generally a very nice guy. But his partner and best friend, played by let's see, let me go back, Julian McMahon, Dr. Christian Troy, is the complete opposite. I mean, total womanizer, total sex addict, alcoholic. Beyond being a womanizer, it wasn't just that he slept with a lot of women. He almost slept with he almost slept with a different woman every episode, okay? And then every relationship, every girlfriend that he had, totally abused her mentally, totally did her dirty. I even remember one episode where he was fucking this ugly chick and he made her put a bag on top of her head as he was fucking her. And she was into it, her self-esteem was so low. He's extremely superficial. And all he does when he's not in surgery is trying to find, 9s and 10s in Miami, women way too young for him, and just fucking the shit out of them. Total sex addict, loves humiliating women, gets off on humiliating women, and he will fuck anything that walks. So, long story short, he's best friends with, and partners with Sean. And if you haven't seen the show, I'm going to give you a little bit of a spoiler alert. Okay. The son that Dr. Sean is raising is actually biologically Christian Troy's son, because no one is off limits to Dr. Christian Troy, including his best friend's wife. So, long story short, this child has two dads. Okay. So both of these men consider this boy their son. Okay. That's going to come in very important in just a second. Just a second. Give me 1 second. I'm going to get to it. Now, the son is played by John Hensley. Okay. And he has all kinds of mental issues. I think he got into drugs. Just a total problem child. Total problem child. So they end up sending him to a life coach, aka therapist, played by Miss Famke Jensen. Now, we all know who she is because she was She was in X-Men. She played Jean Grey, right? And she's been in a there she is. There she is. She played Jean Grey. She's been oh yeah, she was in GoldenEye, I forgot. She's in a lot of movies. She was in some Jon Favreau movies. She's beautiful. She's stunning. I mean, I don't know what I don't know if she's like natural like that, but she's very pretty. I've always liked her, okay? So they send their son to go get counseling from her character, Ava Moore. Now, Ava Moore is like this huge, like kind of like a Dr. Ruth type of lady. Like, so she ends up counseling the wife at first, and then she counsels the son. And she, she kind of gets everybody on the same page, and everybody's starting to act a little bit better. And, like things are kind of turning up in a good, positive way for the family. But little does everyone know, and this comes out later in the season, she has a son that she's adopted, but the son doesn't know he's adopted. He thinks that this woman, Ava Moore, this character, is his biological mother. Well, she's fucking him. She is fucking her own son and denies it at first, but is kind of proud about it later, because she considers herself like, a sex therapist as well as a life coach. And I want to show you the scene where it then becomes revealed that not only is she banging her own child, her adopted child, who does not know he's adopted. Okay, that comes later. Doesn't know he's adopted. Has a fit of jealousy at a dinner party, and then reveals that she is also banging Dr. Troy and Dr. Sean's son as well. Okay, let me bring it up.
Oh, wow. Really did make me something. I'd have eaten a chicken. So used to asking for things at home and never getting them, I didn't realize someone would care.
You're confusing personal attention with ground rules, Adrian. The truth of the matter is you're denied nothing.
Really, Mom? When I asked you and Matt to keep it down while you were humping the other night, you didn't do that for me. That's denial.
Did he mean what he just said? Go wait in the car, Adrian.
But Matt's mom's...
Now! Julia, Matt and I discussed the fact that our relationship would come as a shock. But you need to realize it has nothing to do with you. You call it a relationship? I let you into my house, and you violate that trust by using me to seduce my son?
Mom, it wasn't all her fault.
There are no victims here, Julia. Matt's old enough to make his own decisions about his sexual partners. What are you, pedophile? I put an alarm on this house to keep monsters out, when, shockingly, the true monster was right in front of my face the entire time. Look, I understand why you'd be uncomfortable with the notion of sexual expression. That's why you came to me in the first place, to deal with your own shame issues around sex. Or really, if Matt's going to learn anything positive about intimacy, you need someone with the right skills. Just because you can't get your own child to love you, don't try and take away mine. He's not yours to have anymore, Julia. You need to get over this Oedipal stage before you smother Matt and he never forms a healthy sexual identity. Boy, I bet your bullshit business would just tank if your clients knew that their life coach was sleeping with boys barely out of puberty. Don't try and intimidate me, Julia. You want to play games? I will push right back, and I will win.
Don't threaten my mom.
Matt, your mother doesn't really have your best interest at heart here. Don't you ever touch him again, or I swear to God I will kill you. Now get out of my house! I know we both want what's best for him. I'm sure you can figure out for yourself what that is, Matt. How could you not tell me about this?
Mom, I'm sorry.
Don't! Don't.
Okay, so the next scene that I'm going to show you is the scene where his biological father, which is Christian Troy, Dr. Christian, confronts Ava Moore, Famke Jensen, about sleeping with his son. Okay, but the reason I told you about Christian's character is because, like I said, this man will fuck anybody. Like, this man will fuck anybody. So watch this, and then I'm going to pause it at the end, and then I will bring it all full circle. Stay with me, stay with me, stay with me. I promise I'm going to get to the point. Okay.
Despite your doctor's degree and your slick veneer of sophistication, when it comes to women and how to treat them, you've crawled right out of a cave.
I'd watch my mouth if I were you.
Or what? You'll hit me.
If you're a man, after the hell you've cost my family, you'd be on the floor.
And you'd be right on top of me, wouldn't you, Christian? Because you want me, don't you?
You lubricate acid. If I stuck my dick in you, it would sizzle off.
Oh, it would sizzle, all right. Matt's not here. But you knew that before you walked in here carrying your big stick you're afraid to swing. You're not upset Matt's seeing me. You're upset that you're not.
You're crazy. And let me make myself clear. I'm not leaving this hell house until you agree to stop seeing Matt. I would kill you before I let you take him out of this country.
Screw the petty threats. You want me to stop seeing Matt? And make me. You want me to stop? And there's only one thing for you to do, Christian. Make me want you more. Conquer me. You don't have the guts. Neither does Sean or Julia. I have the power, and I'm keeping it. Oh, I see now you're just like the rest of them. Threatened, kowtowed, spineless, terrified of the unconditional. A woman of mental and sexual intelligence. You disappoint me, Christian. In the end, you're all bark and no bite.
Bite me.
How hard?
You started it.
You finish it.
No, not that.
Want to be conquered?
Sir, what's wrong? Am I too much of a woman for you?
Okay, I want you guys to look at his face. I want you to take a real good look at his face, because this was one of the most famous scenes in the series for anyone who's a fan. Why does he look like that? And why did he leave? Can anyone guess? If you guys can guess, I will cash app you $5 right now. Can anyone guess why he looks like that and why he got up and left? Anybody? Anybody? Going once, going twice. Leave it in the comments. Anybody? Anybody guess why he got up and left? Anybody? Okay. Let me tell you how I'm going to bring this whole video full circle. Okay. Because in that moment, Dr. Christian Troy, who bangs lots of women all the time, felt that the genitalia that Ava Moore had wasn't female. Dr. Ava Moore, who was fucking her son and then now fucking his son, am I still here? Am I still here? Hello? Y'all tell me in the comments if I'm still here, because I can still see my stream going. Anybody? Hello, hello, hello. Hold on, let me double check. Gotta double check on YouTube. Policy violations. I knew it. Hey everyone, I'll wait for people to come back. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and stitch this and make this a whole video that I can repost tomorrow. No big deal. Hi, Red Pill Rage. Due to a copyright match, your stream was interrupted. Streams are interrupted when copyrighted material is detected. After copyrighted material is no longer being streams are automatically re-enabled. Okay, so that's fine. That's fine, YouTube. I guess I could have kept talking. At least I could have kept talking on Twitter and Rumble. But anyway, to bring it all together, okay, there was a scene after that where Christian has to divulge to Sean that Dr. Ava Moore, who is fucking his son and her own son, is a Decepticon, okay? And what he said is something that I will never, ever, ever, ever forget, okay? What he said, and I could not find the video clip for it, but I had to give you all the context. What he said was this, was that she preys upon young men, young boys. Now, at 17, 18, boys don't have, or at least they shouldn't have, that much sexual experience. And they said in the TV show that she preys upon them because they don't have enough experience to know what a fully formed vaginal entrance feels like. So that's why she goes for kids. And all these years, I have been pondering why. Hey everyone, I'll wait for people to come back. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and stitch this and make this a whole video that I can repost tomorrow. No big deal. Hi, Red Pill Rage. Due to a copyright match, your stream was interrupted. Streams are interrupted when copyrighted material is detected. After copyrighted material is no longer being streams are automatically re-enabled. Okay, so that's fine. That's fine, YouTube. I guess I could have kept talking. At least I could have kept talking on Twitter and Rumble. But anyway, to bring it all together, okay, there was a scene after that where Christian has to divulge to Sean that Dr. Ava Moore, who is fucking his son and her own son, is a Decepticon, okay? And what he said is something that I will never, ever, ever, ever forget, okay? What he said, and I could not find the video clip for it, but I had to give you all the context. What he said was this, was that she preys upon young men, young boys. Now, at 17, 18, boys don't have, or at least they shouldn't have, that much sexual experience. And they said in the TV show that she preys upon them
because they don't have enough experience to know what a fully formed vaginal entrance feels like. So that's why she goes for kids. And all these years, I have been pondering why all this, why push all this trans stuff, especially on kids? Why, and even with the bathrooms, why? And my conclusion is this: the LGBT groomers and the trans activists are not only trying to eliminate the differences between the genders, they are trying to confuse children, especially young boys, to not knowing what real women look like, so they can later prey upon them. And if you're old enough to remember this term, it's called turn them out. They want to turn out young boys without young boys knowing they're being turned out. That's what all of this comes down to. Confuse young male. I mean, they don't give a fuck about the girls, okay? Because you generally don't see a lot of women molesting young women. It does happen. There are a lot of female predators who prey on younger girls or young women. It happens. But it doesn't happen to the same degree as the male to male homosexual interactions, okay? So if these Decepticons can get so physically perfect, so physically adept at impersonating women, and even if they're post-op, they can deceive sexually inexperienced boys into not knowing what the genitalia looks and feels like. It is an easy way to turn them out. Now, as the series proceeds, eventually Ava Moore kind of exits the family and exits their lives. But what happens to young Matt after this is that he is so confused that he ends up looking for other trans women, trying to find some like her, because he doesn't know. Now at the end of the series, they end up back together. It's some bullshit, but he's a little bit older. This is after a couple of years. He ends up having a baby with his biological father's girlfriend that Christian Troy had been mentally and emotionally abusing for years. She ends up killing herself, but they had already had a baby together. So then he gets back with Ava Moore and they ride off into the sunset as a happy little family, happy little Decepticon family. Okay. But I never forgot this scene where that point was made, that the specific agenda is to confuse young boys to the point where they don't know what a real woman looks like. And it sounds very extreme. It sounds really, really extreme, right? But then you look around at what's happening today, and mind you, this series, Nip Tuck, I believe it was like 6 or 7 seasons, maybe 6 seasons. It went on from like maybe 2004, 2005, maybe 2003 to 2010. It ended in 2010. Here we are in 2022. How much of this shit are we now seeing? Thank you, Love and Life. Yes, I am a real woman. All lady parts, natural. How much of this shit are we now seeing? Like, I know living in San Francisco, living in LA, and even living in Las Vegas, there were a lot of pre-op and post-op Decepticons that unless you were really like, like looking up close and looking at their neck, I mean, they were absolutely passable. Absolutely passable. And I respect it, I mean, I respect the game. I don't hate the player, hate the game, right? I respect those who put in effort into their appearance. But it's the overreaching. It's the overreaching that the agenda is not just for trans people to get into relationships with other trans people. It's not for trans people to get into relationships with other gay people. The goal for these Decepticons is to turn out straight men. That's the fucking goal in a nutshell. I don't know how else to put it. It is what it is. And I didn't say it. The writers of the show said it. I didn't come to that conclusion. The writers of the show came to that conclusion. I wish I had that scene because it stuck with me all these years. And I never discussed it anywhere. I never talked about it anywhere. But I'm glad I got a chance to talk to you guys about it on the fight. Actually, it's midnight. Pride is over. And as Christian Walker says, pride is a sin.